What can these Lego flowers teach us about setting and achieving the right goals this upcoming year? I'll let you know in a moment, but first, imagine this. You've set a goal, mapped out every detail, worked hard to achieve it. The finish line is right there in sight. You push through, you run, you cross it, and then something feels wrong. Instead of joy, there's emptiness. It's like you were climbing a mountain only to realize once you got to the top that you climbed the wrong peak. Have you ever felt that way? What if the problem isn't you, friend, but the system you're using? Today, I'm going to challenge everything you thought you knew about goal setting. Sure, you've heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. They might sound like the gold standard, but they could actually be what's holding you back, making you feel dumb and dumber. What if there was a better way? A way to not only achieve your goals, but transform into the person God has created you to be. What's up, fam? My name is Wallace. I've spent over a decade working in business, ministry, and personal growth, and I've seen this same pattern play out over and over. Through my Red Print coaching program and content that you're watching now, I help Christian men and leaders break free from limiting beliefs, chisel away false narratives, and align their lives with God's purpose and identity for their life. And here's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. SMART goals often keep us stupid stuck, chasing external achievements instead of internal soul transformation. Stick with me, friend, because by the end of this video, you will have the framework to set goals that truly matter for your life, your faith, your family, and your future in 2025. But let me share a moment I will never forget. A few years ago, I bought that lie. I thought I set the perfect SMART goal: grow my podcast by 20% by the end of that month. I mapped out every step. I followed the plan to the T and hit my target. But Houston, we had a problem. I didn't feel the way I thought I would. Instead of fulfillment, I felt hollow. I remember sitting at my desk, staring at the analytics. The numbers looked good on the outside, but deep down something was off. Why? Because while I was chasing the what, I forgot to ask myself two of the most important questions you can ask. Why does this matter? Who am I becoming in the process? Does this sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. Most goal-setting systems are flawed because they focus on what you want to achieve, but they rarely help you understand how those goals align with your purpose, your identity, and your true calling. Recently, my wife had her 30th birthday, and she was gifted this awesome Lego set. And I even love that idea of, here's some forever flowers. They won't ever wilt. They won't ever die. And being the kind, amazing person she is, she wanted to share this love with me and our 4-year-old son. So she was like, here you go. You guys put it together. I think y'all would enjoy this. It would be a great bonding experience. And of course, my son was elated. He was beyond excited. He was like, Dad, let's go build some Legos. And I responded, definitely, let's do it. Of course, we had to wait because our almost 2-year-old daughter would literally eat these little tiny Lego pieces. So we had to wait until she was down for her nap. But once she was, we sat down to embark on making some of these awesome Lego flowers. And he picked one out from the box. We grabbed the instructions. Yet quickly, I felt like something was wrong. These pieces weren't matching the instructions that we saw. And come to find out, in our excitement, we had not gotten all the details to notice that in these instructions, the bags were numbered 1 through 5, and each bag corresponded to a different direction and a different flower. And we quickly realized that we had opened the wrong bag and didn't match it with the right corresponding instructions. That the tools we had, the pieces in front of us, didn't match the instructions. Thankfully, we got it all sorted out quickly. As you can see, we made some awesome pieces here behind me. Now, I want you to think of your goals like that box of Lego bricks. When you look at the box, you see these pictures. You see the beautiful, clear, inspiring, exciting destination. But here's the key. The satisfaction doesn't come from someone handing you a completed Lego set. The joy is in building it yourself, one piece at a time. Now imagine setting your SMART goals. It's like following those instructions for that Lego set, but it's the wrong one. Just like we had quickly found out we were building the wrong flower and we didn't have the right pieces. Even if you follow every step perfectly, like we did, you end up building something that you truly don't want. What if instead you had the right picture on the box? A picture that represented who God has called you to be. And what if every brick you added helped you grow into that vision, aligned with your purpose, your values, and your faith? That is what I'll show you today. A transformational way to set goals that builds not just achievements, but the person that God has designed you to be. Here's why SMART goals don't always work. First, they're rigid and inflexible. Life doesn't follow a straight line, as you know, especially as a business owner, an entrepreneur, even a parent. You know that life is full of dips and turns and detours, but SMART goals assume it does. Ever set a goal only to have life throw a curveball, a family emergency, a new opportunity, or a setback? Suddenly you feel like a failure, even though it wasn't your fault. What's the alternatives? I'll show you in a minute. But I want you to remember Matthew 6:34 that says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry for itself." Another thing that SMART goals do is they focus on outcomes, not purposeful input. See, SMART goals are all about what you want to do, but they ignore why it matters or who you are. You might hit the target, but if it misaligns with your values, it will leave you feeling more empty than when you started. Instead, you need to focus on purpose-driven goal. We think about Jeremiah 29:11, reminds us, for God knows the plans He has for you, plans to give you a future and a hope. And then another thing that these SMART goals do is they ignore internal barriers. Fear, doubt, limiting beliefs, false narratives. SMART goals don't address these, but they're often the biggest obstacles. Those mindset shifts that you need to focus on first are what's going to really get you to becoming the person that God has already created you to be. You think of Romans 12:2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Identify the internal barriers and replace lies with truth. Another thing SMART goals do is they encourage small thinking. SMART goals keep you in an achievable zone. But God has called you to take faith-filled risk, to take radical action. What bold God-sized dreams are you holding back on because it feels unrealistic? First, Samuel 17:45. David didn't fight Goliath with conventional tools. He trusted in God's strength and His unique gifts and skills that God has placed on him. Another thing that SMART goals do is they disconnect achievements from identity. Reaching goals that don't align with who God made you to be leads to more frustration instead of rooting your goals and your identity as a child of God. Don't forget 2 Corinthians 5:17. It reminds us if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Now, here's a better way. It's the 5 R's framework, the red print, but applied to your goal setting. Think of this process as finding the right Lego set that aligns with your vision on the box and building it brick by brick. First, recognize. Take inventory of your current Lego pieces. Take inventory of the pieces that you have. What's missing? What doesn't belong? Identify limiting beliefs or false goals that don't align with your true purpose. And 2, you got to reorganize. Lay out the right pieces on the table. Align your goals with God's purpose, ensuring each step reflects your values, your calling, and your true identity. And then 3, rediscover. You got to clarify the picture that's on the box. You got to clarify the picture on the box. Who has God called you to be? Write an identity statement that serves as your guiding image. And then 4, you got to rebuild. Start building the creation brick by brick on a firm, solid foundation. Take those small, phase-aligned actions. Focus on the joy of the progress, not perfection. Focus on the inputs, not the outcome. And then 5, finally, you got to refine. Pause to adjust and admire your progress. Revisit your picture. Ensure the pieces are fitting together and adjust as God leads you. And another piece of this refinement is you refine through relationships. That's why I can't stress it enough. Get surrounded by the right coaches, mentors, community that are going to guide you. They're going to see your blind spots. They're going to call out your true potential. They're going to give you the kind truth in a way that's going to call you higher, that doing this alone will never satisfy. So how do we fix this issue of SMART goals? We fix it with the 5R transformation by focusing on who you're becoming, not just what you're achieving. Let's bring it all together. Imagine your life as that Lego masterpiece. SMART goals give you the bricks, but no meaningful picture to guide you. Transformational goals provide the vision God has for your life, the tools to build it step by step. The beauty of this process isn't just the final creation. It's the growth, the becoming in the process, brick by brick, into the person that God has called and created you to be. So here's my challenge. Don't just set goals for what you want in 2025. Set goals for who you want to become. And newsflash, friend, it's probably going to be more the unbecoming than the becoming. But if you're ready to break free from those limited beliefs and chisel off that false narrative, then I want to encourage you to click below, schedule your free clarity call with me, and let's start this journey towards your true transformation. Let's make 2025 the year that you live fully in your God-given calling and identity. I love you, friend, and let's go live better than best as we conquer this week.